Hey everyone, welcome to Dialog Choices Padcast. Surprise, we're doing another watch along thingy again because there's a bunch of trailers for E3, not E3, but it's just E3. E3 happens every month now, and also E3
but
itself
this one is just
boring.
for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Also that, yes.
I mean, like the last 8 years have just been PlayStation. No, there's Switch too, but Xbox died.
Xbox died?
Every 18 to 24 months, there's one Xbox thing where you're like, oh, what's up with that? Oh, something, almost a reason to maybe launch my Xbox. I don't know. My Xbox One was a waste of money. I don't know what the fuck it was for, because it didn't fucking accomplish anything. So we're gonna watch this, and then we're gonna get the same comments again where people are like, you're too negative, and I wanted to watch a fucking hype video of boring enthusiast people that love everything AAA just with no fucking exceptions, and then that person will be very annoyed and they'll talk a lot, but then all the other people that like it won't say anything.
I think Andrew is gonna love everything in this video, so that person can just listen to Andrew.
I just remember there was somebody that was very angry when we watched was it the VGAs with Bird, I think, and they're like, how dare you diss these mostly really what is it, derivative, uninteresting games. But maybe it'll be better this time, who knows.
Maybe we had a sneak peek though, so.
Just the general press
of the stuff that I know is coming out. 0 of them are interesting to me. So that's a good sign already. But sure.
Maybe they'll announce the next game from the Zero Escape guy.
Wow,
he's making.
And I can add that to my list of things I also don't care about. Exciting.
I know you care about it. You can't lie to me. Liking something is not the same thing as being uninterested in it. I mean,
as long as it's not a new Zero Escape, I could care less what that guy does.
Oh,
I don't give a shit.
Andrew, you have a PlayStation 5?
I do not have a PlayStation 5, and I probably never will have a PlayStation 5.
It's not easy. I had to do unsavory things to get mine, and be like,
it's kind of at the point now.
It's tax write-off.
Yeah, I keep at this point now. I keep saying literally, what is the point? I have the only thing that consoles have now that I can't get on my PC are exclusives. But thanks to somebody being an intelligent person, Microsoft, they decided that maybe they'll just also release all their exclusives on PC too, which is oh great. So then the PlayStation's the only garbage system I don't have to own now. Oh, cool.
No, but that's the thing though. The PlayStation is, and the Switch, they do still have exclusives that are only,
and those exclusives are of 0 interest to me. What, Spider-Man, God of War,
remember that time that they put out the same Spider-Man again and charged you more for it, and it's it's the same game but with a small DLC added to it. Because Spider-Man Miles Morales was just the same Spider-Man game, but then there was a little Miles Morales campaign that you could also play that is a minor expansion. It was, as far as my understanding was, it wasn't an entire standalone Miles Morales sequel, so it was kind of just
and it was
a
for the same console.
It was for the PS5.
No, it was for the PS5.
Oh, it was for a different console.
Yeah, it was it's the definitive edition version or whatever. But it's at some point it's fuck you, man. What if I just want to play the Miles Morales DLC? It's not. There's no. As far as I'm aware, there was no DLC release. You just had to buy the whole game again, but even more expensive now. And it's come on, man. But yeah, they're caught in, I think, in a trap where they need exclusives to justify the PS5. Because otherwise, why would you buy one? That's how consoles work.
Right?
The thing that Andrew said was true 2 console generations ago. There hasn't been a real reason to buy a console for an eternity at this point. There was definitely an era during early PC stuff where there was you could actually get a better gaming experience on consoles in many cases than on PC. PC was not at parity, but by the time we got to the Xbox 360 and Steam and so on, we reached parity more or less, where PC could do stuff as well or better in most cases, and it was really just a matter of if anything was worse on PC, it was just a bad port, and that's not the fault of the platform. It's the it's the developer and publisher being like, that one gets made last, and then seeing all the symptoms that comes with it not being co-developed along the way. But like, the problem that PS5 faces is that they need to figure out how to sell their new console by promising exclusives to justify its existence. But at the same time, it's hard to justify making those exclusives because of the fact that the
Nobody
has a
PlayStation
PS5
5.
because there's two things happening at the same time. One, like because of COVID and everything, like there's so much of this stuff is only distributed online or through other arcane means, and so there's a disproportional scalper problem happening where everything's being taken away, and like it's really hard to actually get a console whenever it's available. But also the consoles seem to be available in much lesser degrees because all the fucking Bitcoin mining shit that's happening keeps making a lot of like a lot of important cards and hardware pieces more expensive and rarer to get, which is like slowing down production of both the Xbox and the PS5. And so like there's less of them available, and the ones that are available are harder to get, and it's just a fucking mess. So it's like they need to get, like, video games are more expensive to make than ever before, and you're supposed to somehow justify making exclusives for your console when there isn't enough of a player base to profit off of. So people just want to make all their games also come out on PS4 because that's where the actual audience is, because it's like one of the most successful consoles, and PS5 is not yet, and I don't know what its tail is going to be like. So it's like it's a struggle where like they need exclusives to justify their shit, but there's no way to get them. It's like, I think basically Sony just has to like shell out. Like they just have to be like, hey, we'll just give you a bunch of fucking money. We'll just fund it ourselves, and that'll be how this game gets made on PS5. Because otherwise, like, how the fuck do you get it to happen? And I'm guessing that every one of them will come out on PC. Like a lot of the exclusives are only going to be like, it's not on Xbox, but it's still going to come out on PC because those people are like, it needs to sell somewhere. Like,
yeah, I was going to say, if these developers want money, they're going to have to put it on PC, which then, of course, feeds back into Ouroboros. Why do you own a console if you could just get it on PC? Like, it's just like, at the end of the day, the only excuse for not getting a PC is because it's a lot more expensive than getting a console, which is a justifiable problem. It is. Getting a gaming PC is way more expensive than going to the store and buying like an Xbox One would be. Like
in comparison to having a non-gaming PC. Because the thing is, like 20 years ago,
I don't know. It depends on.
Go ahead.
Depends on what. I guess it depends on what kind of games you're trying to play. If you're playing top of the line, brand new stuff, it's going to cost you a pretty penny to do this. But if you're gonna,
What I mean to say is that, like 20 years ago, like I know this is an argument, and honestly, I haven't felt it in my own life, but because it's easy to fall for that argument that the PCs are more expensive, because if you want to buy a PC with the similar graphics characteristics of a console, then yeah, it is more expensive. But the thing is, like 20 years ago, maybe people didn't have PCs. Or especially like kids, they wouldn't get a PC. Or I suppose the US might be an exception, so you need to go further back than 20 years ago. But certainly when me growing up, it would be definitely more expensive for you to have a PC, because for the most part you'd use the PC for games. But these days everybody spends money on their PC, and they spend more money than they already have to, because most people buy laptops, which are more expensive than the similar desktop counterpart. So all you really need is a graphics card, which these days is super expensive. But it's not just the graphics card, obviously.
So it's
but
CPU.
A little bit.
CPUs are about the cost of a console.
Yeah, that's true. What I'm saying is that the difference isn't about you buying a PC for gaming. It's that the PC that you buy is already for gaming, if you are a PC gamer. And so the price isn't, I think, if you spend $2,000 in a PC, in a gaming PC, you're not spending $2,000 as opposed to spending $800 or whatever the PS5 is going for. You're spending just $1,000 more on your PC as opposed to the $800 that the PS4 is going for.
I mean,
it's not
a PC comes with a lot more cost than you don't think about, like monitors, keyboard, mice, the desktop
but
itself.
You're going to have that already.
If you need like
right?
headphones to play with it, if you're going to put it onto a TV, then now you got to do like a space mathematical equation because
I
towers
think,
are
I think
not
this
easy.
is like the
It's
wrong
just
line of questioning, honestly. Like, yes, it's a price thing, but all the consoles are expensive. So if you're that concerned about price, then you're not really buying any of the new things in general, let alone PC.
That's true.
I think for a far more significant thing is just the fact that PCs are intimidating. Like people don't want to get stuck in a weird problem happening and not knowing how to fix it, and they just want to play their fucking video game, and they're just dealing with all this shit that's happening. I deal with this, like
unless you bought Fallout 76, which caused your PS4 to brick and you had to reinstall the operating system. So I think we're getting to a point now where I think games are going to start causing like actual problems. There's
a handful of incompetent developers that completely fuck up at making a console game and then it crashes and all that stuff, or worse. But like that's not a normal experience on console at all. Whereas like
that's true.
Any random PC game can just fuck up. Like for Splitgate, I had to go on like a weird website and download like this thing to like get multiplayer to work because I just didn't work. Yeah. Like,
it was the certificates for the
I had to go get some certificate shit to get it to work because I couldn't even start. I couldn't get onto the first screen. I couldn't even reach the title screen.
I didn't get the error, but I just installed the certificate.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of random bullshit that just happens all the time, and you like if you don't know what questions to ask, then you don't even know how to solve problems. Sometimes, like you can, even if the solution is relatively simple, you can spend hours troubleshooting it. Like there are still eras of like elements of even me who works with the stuff like professionally, even though I'm not like some kind of like special computer whiz. I just have like the knowledge of using it all the time for my job, and like you pick things up along the way. There's still like difficulties that come from playing certain kinds of games or certain older games where I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get this on an old console and play it on the old console instead of trying to get the PC version to run, because like it's just not worth it. Like it's just a pain in the ass. And you're like, I don't want to like, let's try to have fun now with the fun video game after 2 hours of hating the experience of setting it up. Like, it's so hard to switch gears from being frustrated and tired to being like, now I'm going to have fun now. Like, it's easier just to pick up the thing that'll just work. And like, a lot of people are already frustrated and tired before they start playing video games. So consoles are appealing because they just go and they don't have to like figure out how to make the thing work and so on.
Well, they still have the problems. Well, maybe the new generation doesn't, but the old ones didn't they like take forever to update and all that?
I mean, the biggest offender was the Wii U, which especially when you first bought it, like there's a lot of sad Christmases where people got a Wii U for their kid and then they open it up and hook it up and then it spends literally the entire day on a vague updating screen that doesn't seem to be making any progress, and you don't know if it's broken or not. Like the Wii U was a real nightmare with its day one patch or whatever, but no, there haven't been exorbitant problems with any of the consoles really, and
good.
Like automatic patches are not really the kind of headache I was talking about, especially since you can generally, I think on basically any console, you can, except for the day one Wii U stuff, you could just skip the patches and it'll just be like you can't be online or whatever, which like affects some people but not other people, and
also
just
people are
later.
used to patches. People are used to patches because their phones update all the time.
It's also just you can't escape them. Like it's all like. Even if you don't like patches, that's not a point against consoles because it's just parity with everything else.
No, patches is terrible. He always throws you down the hole. It's a terrible person.
I will say that like consoles are the one thing. If there's like one stickler for consoles that really make me not want to buy them, is I'm getting tired of this like lie about hard drive space. I'm getting really fed up with like consoles not coming with a way more reasonable hard drive size, because I'm not playing this like mobile phones can't have flash storage bullshit anymore. Like you have a $700 device, if it doesn't come with a minimum of a 2 terabyte hard drive, what are you doing? Why am I here?
Games are so fucking gargantuan now, and when you like, download them, they need like twice as much hard drive space as the gargantuan game to like unpack or whatever. So it's like I need like some of these games, it's like I need like 100 to 200 gigabytes just to download and install one game. Sometimes it's like what the fuck?
And not a joke. Like the newest Call of Duty is a 90 gigabyte file. Like, do you know how atrocious that is?
They have to fucking update like the one file that's like an archive thing that's like 50% of the video game, and so it's like they have to re-download like this nightmarishly large file, which means you perpetually have to have this huge gap of that hard drive open just for your patches.
It's stupid, but it can be alleviated thanks to the power of modern technology. And now we have hard drives for very affordable costs. We have these new fancy Fadangle in NVMe hard drives that are the size of like a business card, and you can fit them into your stupid, dumb, ugly looking console PS5. Don't lie to me. I know you can shove like 4 of them in there. You've got giant wings on the side of it. It's a huge device, but for some reason
here. It's bigger than every console I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure it's bigger than the Xbox One, which is the ugliest fucking VCR of a video game console I've ever seen.
And
yeah, that's true.
And it comes with 600 gigabytes of storage.
That's not even the 1 terabyte. That's the 1 terabyte version comes with 600.
Are you talking about the digital? Which one are you talking about?
Yeah, the one.
So the PS5
comes with 600.
PS5 comes with I believe it's an 830 gigabyte hard drive.
Why is it? It's not a hard drive. It's an SSD, right?
Well, yeah,
yeah,
SSD.
it has to be in it. Yeah,
right. But of that 800, only 667 are available because the OS and everything else. So
yeah, it makes sense. Okay, I see.
That is unreasonable.
I've definitely had some frustrating headaches with the PS4 where I have like 10% of my hard drive open or more. Like it's like a decent meaty chunk. And it'll be like, yeah, I can't update this game. Not enough hard drive space. But motherfucker, what is most of the space even for then if I can't use it? Like, I would just have to delete multiple games to update one game because the update that kept it, like the random patches would be too big. And I'm like, I can't continue my Let's Play till this fucking update installs. And I just keep, and it won't tell you how much space it needs. So you just like, I'll just gotta delete games at random until it finally works again. This dick of a console.
Yeah, it's really unpleasant. Whereas, like, I don't know, this is a thing Steam's been doing for 20 years now, where you click on the game you want to install and it says it's going to take about this much space. It's incorrect. It's always in bytes, which is the weirdest method to put anything in. But hey, at least it tries to tell you. And when you go to the download page, it actually then tells you how big the game is. It says like, oh, it's going to be a 20 gig game. Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, 20 gigs. I just need to make room for that. Okay, easy. And then consoles, actually, Xbox doesn't have this problem. Xbox will tell you straight up like, oh, this game's going to take like 15 gigs. Please make room.
Remember blocks?
Blocks?
I remember a lot of
older
things,
consoles
Keith.
had imaginary storage space that was just, they would abstract it for some reason and be like, it's blocks. You need 7 blocks.
They didn't want to like,
wow.
Because here's the thing is just like how modern consoles are now, you didn't want to make your device sound less appealing than a PC by saying like, it only has like 50 gigabytes. Don't worry about that though. We called it 500 blocks. So your brain just kind of like
Microsoft
goes,
points.
Yeah, like Microsoft point. It's like like funny money, like all that stupid in-game currency is all just like, well, actually it's always in yen, but that's besides the point.
It's always in yen.
Yeah, it's like what? It's always 100. 100 means $1. So, and I don't know why it's that way. Like when you look at something,
I see what you mean.
Yeah, when you look at something, it's like, oh, it's 900 funny money. You're like, oh, that's $9. Like it's like, I don't know why everything's in yen, but it is.
That was the trick. I mean, that's not yen. That's cents. It's just it'd be 100 cents as a dollar. Oh. But no, the trick with fucking Microsoft is that they obscured it because it wasn't. They wanted you to think that like 100 or like the intervals matched up or whatever, but like $10 was 800 points and $20 was 1600 points. So like whenever you saw the stuff in the store, it looked cheaper than it really was because the number looked like a smaller number than the American like normal version that you would think it was. It's like, oh, it's only 1600 Microsoft points. That's $20. That's $20. The trick into making a smaller number. But they also
scummy.
But they also make the money a little bit mutable because if you buy it in large enough bulks, then it becomes a thing where you you technically got a slight discount. So technically, there's not a definite meaning of how much stuff it is, but it was just 80 points per dollar and so on. And
alternatively, you could have just called it how much it costs.
Well, you also couldn't just buy things. You had to buy the currency first, and you couldn't buy the currency in whatever interval you wanted to. You had to buy the currency in really specific intervals. So you couldn't be like, oh, I would like this is 560 points. It's like, well, you're gonna have to go buy a $1,600 card somewhere and cash that in. So you got to spend $20 to get 8 or whatever, and that's just not great.
Yeah.
Nintendo still does that.
You can buy directly with money.
So Nintendo does it in a weird way where
you can
like
buy
you have
directly
to
with money.
You can, but you technically are just loading money onto your account. Like, so you have to put money onto your account to then buy something, which is like a carryover from the Wii U where you had to like get the stupid Nintendo gift card to buy things in the eShop or whatever. And so the carryover is like, all right, so you have to put points onto your like money onto your account or whatever, like a credit card, but you can do it like for the exact amount of what you're buying. So you say, oh, this game's like $69.99. Well, I want to put $69.99 onto my account, and it goes, okay, here you go, and then you just buy the game. But it's weird, like it's just a weird remnant of this like wild west of currency back in early console days, where someone's like, I don't know, I guess we just don't have to charge them direct money, right? We can just do whatever we want, and no one's gonna stop us. And it's like, oh, okay, weird.
You surprised me a little bit with your hard drive thing, because when you brought up the thing that's bad about consoles, I thought you were going to talk about was entertainment systems, because like, so I play video games on my computer, and when I play console games, I play them on my monitor. Like I'm in the same location. I have an HDMI thing going into the back of my monitor, and I just flip the switch on my monitor to switch over to the HDMI, and so like that's it. Like I have the same headphones that I normally have. I just switch it to like a different little like cable. Everything's fine. I got to figure it out. I don't own a TV and an entertainment system, and as far as I can tell, all the people who own them don't know how they work, and it's like, it's infuriating. So what I hate about consoles and using them out in the wild is that you're just trying to like this mostly comes up whenever we're like, oh, well, let's go watch a movie downstairs. Let's use one of the consoles as a Blu-ray player, because we don't own a Blu-ray player, because why would we if the consoles do it? But then it'll be like, okay, the TV is like some kind of smart TV, and it's attached to like a switcher for HDMI things, which is attached to this thing. But like the switcher doesn't just have like, you press the button that is like whatever the mode is. Like you don't just press like, oh, there's 4 HDMI cables and you press the correct one. There's also like some kind of toggle that does something else besides just switch ports, and I don't know what that does. And also like the fucking TV has like 7 options for source at this point, and you can't, and for some reason you go through all of them and none of them bring the console up, and like the console's running and the switch is set to it, and it's like at this point like video game home entertainment systems are such an arcane series of pieces of nonsense all just jammed together, and like it's always like collaborative households where several people are interacting with it, and like at this point I feel like I don't know anybody that owns an entertainment system and watches TV like normal or whatever and so on, and knows how to reliably get like the thing to like switch to like what they want half the time. So it's just like a fucking headache, or it's like we just want to watch a movie and for like 20 minutes we can't get it to work, and eventually we'll just give up and like on the smart TV press the button that just makes it bring up like Netflix or Amazon Prime or some other streaming service, because we can't get the actual hardware via like 4 devices to just show up on the screen. And then when it does, it like doesn't have audio, but then we have like, motherfucker, there's 5 fucking separate remotes, and like which one's the sound bar, because now the sound bar's on but the audio's coming out of the TV. What the fuck is happening? Like which one of these changes the volume of the TV versus the sound bar? Like this is
Jesus Christ,
literally,
this is like somebody
at this point like, entertainment systems are worse than computers.
Are they? I feel like this is just I think this is just like an example of why you shouldn't use Audacity, or not Audacity, and you shouldn't use you shouldn't use Voice Meter unless you know how to use Voice Meter. Like it's the same principle.
Oh, that's fair.
Like you just have to create I have a system. So let me explain mine. I have a system now where all of my consoles go into an HDMI switch. And that HDMI switch goes into a splitter. And that splitter has one going to my computer and one going to my PC. And the splitter has 4 ports on the back of it. And so one port is for games only. So all of my video game systems come out of one port. The second one is for my Chromecast. The third one's for my Amazon Fire Stick. And the fourth one is for open. It's just whatever I need to plug in. If someone brought over the fucking some kind of HDMI hell device, I could just plug it in there. And all of that audio is ported through. So if I'm watching something on my PC, I can have the audio for those devices come out through my PC, should I want to do that, just by unchecking a thing in Audacity, and boom, now the audio comes out through my PC.
Not Audacity.
Voice meter. Voice meter, and it comes out. But it's just one button. You just got to remember that 1 is for games and 2 is for Chromecast. Like, that's it. And then you're done. You just push the thing and done. For the HDMI, for the other consoles, that gets a little bit more complicated, but I have all the numbers memorized. So it's just a matter of like, 1 is the Xbox, 2 is the PlayStation, 3 is the
difference
Switch.
here though is that like you do tech support for a living and so on, and like this is your personal setup in your private home with no other people involved. There's no other people in the mix and so on.
Yeah, that's true.
It's an
That makes a
incredibly
huge difference.
pristine, private, singular setup. But what I'm talking about is that these things are failing because it's supposed to be consumer level electronics for just randos to just use, just like their phone and their video game consoles. Like, home entertainment systems have completely failed to just be a normal modular experience. Like, this shit should be plug and play, where you can just be like, yeah, just fucking work, and then it's like, yes, I'll make it work, and like it should be able to just fucking switch to it on its own. Why do I gotta figure like?
Yeah,
a lot of it
comes down to
the tech problem I'm
pieces.
talking about is like 5 different households. I'm talking about there's like 5 different households in my life where like trying to get the TV to just fucking work is just a ritual. Then like
it is
so many different people don't know how to make their shit work, and it's like, this shit's supposed to be made for you. What the fuck? You guys made it wrong at some point. Like, go back and fix it.
Smart TVs were an absolute mistake, and the what bothers me more is the fact that there doesn't seem to be a way to get rid of it. Like, you can't just go to the store and be like, hello, could I just get a TV? And they're like, yes, here's one with Android 11. It's like, no, sorry, let me reiterate that. I would like one where I turn it on and it only displays whatever is plugged into it. I don't want any pre-built software. I don't want any. If I see an Ethernet port on the back of your TV, I'm going to throw it in the dumpster. I don't want that. I want a literal fucking television, because smart TVs are literally just a waste of your time. They're a waste of your time, your money, your energy, everything. It's just garbage. What are you going to get out of a smart TV? If you want the fancy fucking features of being able to stream your Netflix, go buy a fucking Chromecast. Do it on your phone. Like, don't stop.
The trap is definitely that they're ironically not smart enough. Like, the TV itself is not smart enough. It just doesn't solve problems ever on its own.
And the worst part is because you add this like god awful interface to it, and everyone has their own god awful interfaces because no one wanted to hire a UI designer. They all just decided to wing it, and every TV looks like a monstrosity. And you go like, hey, could I get to the, like, how do you change the source? And it's like, okay, so there's a button and there's whatever the fuck is on the screen right now. And I would recommend pressing the button. But also, did you set this up correctly? Because otherwise we're just naming all of them the same thing. Or we're just going to come up with names for them based on what we think you put in there. Is that a TV? I don't know. Is that a console? I don't know. I'm going to think it's a computer. And you're like, I didn't plug a computer in. Oops, sorry. I just auto-named it for you. I thought that's what you wanted me to do. And it's like, what? Just why? Why is this so? What is such ass? Like, I just want the thing. It sounds like an old person, but like, I want to plug a device into the back of the TV, and the TV goes, okay, I only detect something coming out of this one device. Do you want to look at that one device? Yeah. Okay, thanks. And just move on with life. I don't want to have to sit here and play like the rodeo of like, yeehaw, fella, I have 6 devices plugged into my fucking TV. Which one is it? I don't know. I'm gonna press the source button until one of them stops being black. Oh, it turns out that the PlayStation 4 actually won't display video until you're on the source input for that device. Well, shit, partner. I guess you're gonna have to fucking figure it out.
But then when you bring up that source thing, the TV auto switches off of it if it doesn't find anything.
Yeah,
you get to sync them both up at the same time, but they all have 10-second delays. Fuck you.
It is a nightmare that was somehow easier back when TVs were less sophisticated.
At some point, it's like smart TV. I know you know what a video game console is. Just fucking let me press a button that makes you show it, please.
Well, we're also not talking about the fact that when you do that, and if it automatically determines what it thinks you have plugged in, sometimes it sets the settings automatically based on what it thinks you've plugged in, which means that if you have, like, say, a video game console, it may not put on high frame rate, which means you could have these like weird lower looking frame rate problems. Whereas like, or it could put on a high frame rate and you're using a console that doesn't support 120 frames. And so now you have like the soap opera effect on your video game consoles. You're like, this is just, everything is bad. Please stop doing this. And that's, again, this is why I have two splitters.
Is frame smoothing noticeable when you're playing a 60 frames per second game already?
It is if you're playing 60 frames on 120 hertz. Yes, you'll notice there's kind of a problem. You'll go like,
it's gonna add so much lag though, right? Because frame smoothing
that is the other problem with home entertainment systems, is that every element of it is adding more and more lag to your inputs and making you worse at the video game.
Yeah, it is. It's just. It's a nightmare, and like I said, that's why I have my splitter, and so that way I can just sit at my computer and turn this and just like choose the input that I want to look at. And so if somebody wants to watch cartoons on the TV and I want to play a video game, I can do that. They can watch stuff on the TV, and the splitter will show them the cartoons, and I can have mine go to directly to the games, and I can watch the games through my capture card. But it's like, these are complicated setups. You're making these things specifically complicated to solve the problem of a more complicated assumed user interface by, I don't know. It just, I guess to loop it back, what you're talking about makes it funny because consoles seem seem somehow more problematic than PCs are. PCs are they only have one input. You got to just plug it into HDMI.
I haven't messed with a television screen in 20 years. No, not 20 years. Probably like 50, at least 15. I do not know the first thing about the modern ones. So I am totally out of the loop.
They are unfortunately not great.
It's real wonder awkward, though. I'm the least likely person to use one, but I'm always like saddled with like it gets thrown in my hands, and it's like, you know tech stuff, you fix it. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't even know what these devices are. What do you own?
You need to show incompetence as soon as possible. That's what I do. Immediate incompetence is the best solution for a lot of problems in life.
Just use your TV.
Wonder though. I do wonder. According to Wikipedia, PlayStation 5 has sold 10,000 copies, or 10,000. Excuse me, 10 million, not copies, units. Yeah, 10 million units. I wonder if, because of the price and because of the scarce availability and all that, if the people who own them tend to be people who play less, and that compounds the issue that we were talking about even more. The game,
I mean, $60 a pop really kind of limits a lot of your gaming spending. Is it 70 now?
I think it is, right?
That's not true. Are PS5 games $70?
Yep. I thought. Yeah.
Are you serious? People are paying $70 for video? Are you fucking kidding me? You people are getting scammed. You people are getting fucking scammed. That's highway robbery. You need to stop that. Buy a PC. It's cheaper in the law. Jesus, fucking $70.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
that's what
I'm saying.
PC is cheaper.
60 was already pushing the limit there, bud. These games aren't $60 qualities when they're fucking potatoing in my face, but you tell me $70?
Yes. I think the Xbox Series is the same thing.
I probably have more video games. I've probably got more free video games from Epic that are
right
$70 quality than one
PS5, amazing video games
PS5 owner's library size. Like $70. You're gonna pay $70 for GTA 5? I'm gonna fucking die.
GTA 5 was free on Epic. I got it for free on
Yes,
Epic.
I got it for
It's
free
called
on Epic.
GTA 5 because you buy it 5 times.
5 times. Yeah,
$70.
That's another reason why I say PC is cheaper. It's not just that you're gonna need to have a PC as well, but the fact that you keep your library for the rest of your life, basically, instead of just in the console that you have. And the other thing is that the games are just so much cheaper. It's just
I remember
Also,
almost
on a
100%ing
PC
GTA 5. Like I even did the fucking like slow trip you do around the entire island underwater in a submarine. I think I got to like the stun jumps, and I was finally like, I don't want to do this anymore. And that was 8 years ago. It's been so
you were a
long.
wee lad. You were a wee lad at the time.
When are they gonna make another game?
In case someone's Keith, no. Do you know how expensive it costs to make GTA 5? It was like the most expensive game ever made. They're not going to do it again.
They should make GTA Skyrim.
Well, they're not going to do it again until they make their money back, which I don't think they've made their money back yet. Because
I think they've made their money back.
It's the most profitable piece of GTA 5 is the most
GTA
profitable
Online
piece of media.
Is a nightmarishly monetized thing.
Yeah, it's the most profitable piece of media. Period.
Which is funny because we've played it,
in the world,
and
it's
most of it
GTA
controls
5.
like shit, and all of its interface is bad, and it loads really slowly.
Not since that hacker apparently patched it. Remember the news?
No.
There was this
hack
mod
in and
on
forcefully patch it across the whole world, or did he just find a patch privately?
So,
like
he released the mod so that would allow the game to load faster, and he basically got. I don't know if Rockstar sued him or something, but they did something bad to him, accusing him of distributing. I think they DMCA'd him or something, accusing him of cheating at the online aspect of the game, which it's a claim considering it's just a mod to make the game load faster. And then everybody was very upset about it at the time because they were suing the person who was fixing their game for them, and then they hired him or at least paid him or something for the code, and I think it was like $100,000 or something, nothing money, and they apparently the GTA 5 now loads fast.
So not only does it have a history of loading so incredibly slowly, but from what I remember, when GTA Online was relatively new, you had to load the single player first. So you had to watch a fucking loading screen for like 5 minutes, it felt like, when it's just like a slideshow of random shit. And you're like, is it even working? And then it finally loads in, and you're like, oh shit, it's Franklin. God damn it. Then you gotta like go on your phone and like load like the multiplayer, which itself would then I think take like another like 5 minutes of loading screens or something. And it's like, how does any game end up like this? Like it's such
because
a bizarrely mismanaged feeling game, and it's like it has more money than God. What the fuck?
Remember how we learned a few years back that somebody was fired. Somebody in higher up in the design team of Red Dead Redemption 2 was fired from the company for apparently suggesting that they should rework their combat system. And apparently there's a culture within Rockstar. Stephanie Sterling have a video about it, and it's been a while, so they still went by Jim Sterling, but they have a video specifically about Rockstar, and there's a lot of stuff there. One of the things that really struck my eye, as it were, was that they have a culture within the company that if you criticize anything about their games, as in we can make this better, that's criticizing it, you're basically ostracized, and that's just a bad look, and you might actually get kicked out of the company.
So
like that other dude.
So I can see what the problem here is. So it cost them like $270 million to make GTA 5, and so far they've only made $6 billion in return on investment. At least in the assumption that it's 60, everyone paid all 140 million people paid $60.
That's like six Lord of the Rings
they've made way
box
more
offices.
money than that.
So I can get it. There's no reason to make another one.
You're ignoring microtransactions at that point.
Well, the microtransactions don't count into it because remember, Keith, those aren't real. Um,
I mean,
They're
that's,
the
that's
biggest-
their entire business model for like the last like 7 years.
yeah.
The microtransactions.
That's why they don't make a new GTA, because they don't want to divide the.
We really got
the
to
people.
actually watch this video at some point. We've literally already been doing this for as long as the video is, and we haven't
Okay,
started.
so
it.
let's
Terrible
watch the video.
at podcasting.
So we're gonna watch a video of all the new PS5 games coming out for
Yeah. They're gonna be
console
good.
that only 1 out of 3 of us own.
Yeah.
Oh, remember how this preamble started with Keith saying that people were going to complain that we are down on the games?
Yeah, we just talked
We just
about consoles as a
dunked on the
concept
games
for like the last
for an hour.
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, as I
let's-
said, let's watch a bunch of $70 games we definitely want to buy.
It's good. It's good videos.
Let's
do it.
begin.
Mature. Gonna have boobs in
Wow,
it.
it's captured from a console. These pre-rendered cutscenes captured from a console.
I hate that sound.
Yeah,
Can you go
that's
back to
not
the
an
Sega
engine.
sound?
You can't trick me.
What is that, Gotham? That wasn't a real skyline.
It's just a city.
This
Wow,
is
it's
obvious.
this. Wait, is this chess? What the fuck is this
I don't
chess? The whole city
Oh,
was
no.
chess. It was a grid of white
It
and
is
black
chess.
buildings.
That's why the skyline was weird.
Holy shit, wait, this is all in the PS5? This is crazy. Wow, these graphics are pretty good.
Oh, this is
they-
bullshit. It's a hype video of nothing.
Wow, look
Wait,
how real
it's
these
not
people
chess?
look. This is all PS5? Stunts are trained by
They're-
professionals? They trained AI to do this?
We're gonna have
That's
to-
crazy.
Why did they say this was captured on a video game console? It's a video.
Yeah,
it's
why
it's
did they
live
say that?
action.
It's live action.
It's a live action video. What the fuck was that disclaimer?
I don't know, Keith. This looks pretty real. I can't believe that this is all PS5.
This is-
I may buy one.
this is the-
$70? This is kind
This
of
is
worth it.
definitely just a trailer for the PS5, right?
I don't
Whoa,
know.
I don't
Maybe it's
know.
like
I
a
mean-
Tetris,
I don't know why
Tetris
they're
battle
showing
royale,
chess.
but it's
They
chess.
showed the
Wait.
God of War was in the background.
This isn't a
Was it
game?
got-
Yeah, this is what
I don't know,
graphics
that
look
guy-
like now, Andrew. Wow.
Damn, I should really
yeah.
buy a PS5. I didn't know chess looked this good. Maybe I'd
I'm
be
gonna have to-
interested in it.
I'm gonna have to mute this whole part because it's playing a copyright song.
It does. Yeah. It does, besides the song, it doesn't.
Wow, look
too
at that
much.
water, like physics.
like you
They actually figured out how to make rain. This is crazy. I cannot believe this is
You're
a real
kidding.
game in like 2021.
You're kidding, but there's definitely a part of
This
that.
this is like
or
Romeo and
a part of that
Juliet.
is a part of them showing that those words was precisely to get people to be like, oh, the graphics are so
Wow.
good these days.
Look at the lighting. This is great. What engine are they using?
RTX.
It just
Or
feels like
RTX.
it just feels like the Romeo and Juliet movie, the Leonardo DiCaprio one, where they're like, "Hand me my long sword," and it's just like a shotgun with long sword written on it and shit. Like, oh, it's like oh, here comes the fucking APC or whatever. And it just has like a rook branded on it. Like, oh, it's a chess piece. Huh? Get it? Like, these things aren't analogous. Does it move like a rook? What? There's no actual. I don't think there's any actual like chess logic
Actually,
happening.
a car without the steering wheel would move like a rook, maybe a little.
Just take
Wow,
this. Just
look
take,
how many models there are. That's a lot of different unique
look at this,
or
look
unique
at this
models.
crowd tech. Why the
That's
fuck
a-
did they
look at
say
that
this was
camera.
Why did they say this was captured on a console? What the fuck was
Wow.
that
Yeah,
supposed to say?
Damn,
They
dude.
played the video on YouTube and then
Yeah.
captured it through HDMI.
Yeah, wow.
Are they- is that what GTA 5 is gonna look like? Every citizen is unique.
It's just like how
Wow,
somebody,
wait, the graphics look
somebody
like
in
shit
our,
now. What happened?
Yeah,
How come the
this is way-
graphics look so
PS4.
bad?
This is way
PS4,
worse.
It's PS4, don't worry.
Okay, here we go. Here's the good graphics, finally.
Welcome to the
Good.
PlayStation Showcase.
Jim, man, I can't believe they did a full 3D model of you.
And setting the benchmark for creativity and excellence in entertainment.
Seems kinda weird to render a PS5 and a PS5.
The new technology.
I heard you like PS5.
I just can't get over how the PS5 looks like a frat bro with a pop collar.
Immersive and compelling worlds, showcasing their
Oh, cool. Now with
creative
water
vision
levels,
storytellers.
everyone loves those.
We've never been more grateful for the PlayStation community.
That's a fair point.
So thank you for allowing
lot of these
us
games are
time
already
to
out.
share some significant updates.
Why would you wear
look
a
at his
blue
hands.
shirt with a blue
So without
background?
further
Look at
ado,
his hands,
let's look
the
at
way he's
some
moving
new
them.
and amazing games.
Oh, the hands.
It's a little
They did some
phallic.
pretty good. That's some pretty good hair physics going on with with him there.
You say it like he moved
Sony,
at all.
Sony. Okay, it's Sony.
Star Wars?
It's a new Avatar
Is
game.
it Aspir? Is that a new company?
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen
I don't know. I mean, the companies have so many names.
the Civ.
There's so many companies, I should say.
Now they wield it.
It's Star Wars.
Oh, I think that's
Right?
a bad guy.
I know what it is.
It's Revan.
Must be stopped.
Wait, is that Kylo Ren?
Nope.
No. It's the original Knights of the Old Republic.
in the title.
Yeah, they do that a lot now.
What an ugly
they-
ass
Hey,
They have
logo.
Sony, instead of all
There's
your
a new-
flagships being, hey, we remade a bunch of RPGs you guys like, what if you guys made one?
Wait, they don't show any more than that?
Is that
Oh
the
my
entire
God.
They don't
teaser?
have anything more than that. That's all they got.
All right, well,
no.
that's coming out in
They haven't-
2025.
Yeah.
Hey, Sony, make an RPG, you cucks.
They did. Did you see the
Just
chess game in the
a
beginning?
Make
one.
an
A
RPG.
new
Stop
one.
remaking of ones we already came out. We have those ones. Make one, please, you cowards.
Wow.
Is this Bayonetta?
This looks.
Is
Look at my butt. It's shiny.
it shines?
Was the as an Easter egg, you should be able to see the cameraman in the reflection of her ass. That'd be incredible.
People would have
Okay,
already spotted it.
is this
Shit.
platinum? I guess it said shipped out. Whoever that is.
Oh, I guess she's dead now.
Oh, hexagons. And she's in space. Well,
She's definitely dead now.
this really is a platinum style nonsense game. If
I
it's
don't,
not by
what
platinum.
do
She
they
just
make?
took a wait. She just took a deep breath in space. How did that work?
They make Nier Automata and Bayonetta
Oh
and,
yeah.
and Wonderful
Shiny
101
butts.
and a bunch of other really
Ugh.
bizarre
Oh
games.
look, eyes within the eyes. I like it.
Space Cthulhu Angel.
I like it.
하늘의 계신 어머니시여. 저희는 지구를 지키지 못했습니다.
Oh, this is really platinum-y.
적들을 물리치고
Oh yeah, that's Nier Automata,
신성한 의미를
like to a T. The art design, art direction.
Wait, this is literally just Nier Automata with reskinning. You can't trick me.
And
저희의 죄를
and a less skimpy outfit.
거두어 주시고 저희를 유혹에 빠지지 않게 하소서. 지하 시설 방공호 같은 건가?
I think it's the subway. Yeah, there you go.
If you think about it, a subway is just a bunker with trains in between. Yeah, it's the same kind of combat, right?
You have a better fight to show me? That was
Yeah, here you go.
that was my estimation of this game dropped significantly watching that fight. I was like, oh, it's
Isn't
gonna
that
be
the same as in Nier?
I thought it was gonna be like Bayonetta or something, or Devil May Cry, where it's
Oh.
kind of intense. And then I was just watching her like button mash against a tiny mob. I'm like, this is fucking boring. Is this a loot grinder?
Nier is pretty grindy.
Yeah, Nier is a little bit more on that territory.
아직 기다리고 있는 거야.
I'm sure it's gonna sell like hotcakes. Wait, sweet cakes?
I like the gross monsters.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I don't like that motorcycle that just went by. Fuck that guy. He's got a hole in his head and he's a chainsaw. Yep.
Soundtrack is pretty cool as well.
The boss fight's the closer to what you'd hope for.
뭐 살살 가보겠지.
I don't know why they even included her fighting some random trash mob in the subway.
For the first footage of combat,
They already
just
showed
start
like a
killing
super
rats.
boss fight, and they were going. That looked like a cutscene, and they were dead. And then they went down from there to like, I'm smacking a little tentacle boy, and he's not even reacting. Like it's Dynasty Warriors. That quickly drops my estimation from character action game to loot grinder, and that's not a good change. But yeah, here's a bunch of boss fight shit, revengeance and whatnot.
It's not setting up the themes of the game a lot, though. It's just an
I
action
have
game.
no idea what this world is besides the fact that people are chainsaws somehow, which is like the least possible thing an organic thing could be.
I mean,
But
that's
hey, I just
not
finished
necessarily a
Resident
bad
Evil
thing.
6. I'm fucking primed for organic chainsaw people. Project Eve. Does it have? What's the plot of Parasite Eve? Is that related?
Whoa, that looks pretty cool.
Wait, that look. Is this a Kojima
That was pretty
game?
cool, actually. They should have
I
opened
think
with
I know
that.
it's not
I think
shipped up.
that's.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it
who
looked like a
Shift Up is.
Kojima enemy though, right? Like
Well,
that
yeah,
looks
it
like
looked
a
like
Kojima
the,
design.
It looked like the skull mask stuff, yeah, from like their last few games. Gearbox, is
Gearbox
back
game?
to continue being a boring developer. It's Borderlands. Speaking of loot grinder.
Is it?
Oh, is it Tiny
Yeah,
Tina again?
Sounds like her. Yeah.
Spoiler, it's you, baby.
What an awful voice. Is that really her voice?
Yeah, Tiny Tina sounds like that.
Did Anthony Birch write it again?
Also,
The whole point of
That guy
the
had
whole
a
point of Tiny
dickhead.
Tina's adventure in the first place was the fact that Anthony Birch, who made Hey Ash, What You Playing with his sister,
I know this song.
wrote a role for his sister to play, and then Ashley Birch played Tiny Tina, and it was all written in that kind of style of like the show that they did for like years. But I don't.
Yeah.
Is Anthony Birch back? Like, if you're gonna do another Tiny Tina DLC? What the fuck?
That song was from that
is this a
huge
standalone?
metal
Guns in a fantasy
band from
world?
Japan.
And I am just so glad you asked because shut up your face and get shooting!
Is this a standalone?
I mean, it's PS5, so
Well, I mean, like, is it not a Borderlands shooter? Oh, I don't think it is. Wait, is this Baby Metal?
yeah, this is Baby
yeah,
Metal.
Baby Metal. That's the one.
I just
Yeah.
registered
I
what
couldn't
the
remember the
music
name.
sounded like.
I couldn't remember the name of the.
I'm really confused. Well, here you go, Keith. Here's an RPG. This is what you wanted, right?
It's a shooter.
Borderlands is
No, it's a
aggressively
looter
unfunny.
shooter. Don't forget the looter.
I
That's
don't
even worse.
understand why
That makes
people
it
think
worse.
it's entertaining. Is that Butt
Because they're
Stallion?
edgy teenagers, Keith. Leave them alone. They've got nothing else to
remember
live
the Butt
for.
Stallion joke from like 4 games ago? There it is.
You ready, newbie?
Time for character sheets!
Oh, they're playing D&D. Ah.
Yeah. Well, that's like I think that's the premise of the original Tiny Tina thing too.
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
I
That's a
wouldn't
new
know.
game.
Credit scene
I have-
here. This ain't no super duper
It's
hero
not
movie.
Borderlands. It's Wonderlands. Get it?
Did they get Ashley Birch back? It's hard to tell
I
because
can find-
it's a weird voice.
It is her. Yeah, it is her. It's definitely her.
I can distinctly hear her voice whenever she plays like Chloe or the protagonist of her Aloy, or like the character in The Last of Us 2 and so on. Like,
she goes like this.
but Tiny Tina does not sound like Ashley Birch that much. It's
Yeah.
too high.
Apparently she is.
A pretty big deal.
Yeah, they'd probably get her back. She's probably like, yeah, it's the role. That's why I have a job now.
We are getting out.
She's really prolific now.
I promise.
Man, this was.
That's
I really
a
think they should.
terrifying cat. What the?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't
I think
good.
they-
That
I
scared
think
That
they
was
me.
the
should've-
best cat.
I
That's
think they
scary.
should have saved. Bruh.
Bruh.
Use the arrow keys. Keith.
Promise we'll go
No, I can't pause it fast enough. The arrow keys
Trying
are
to bully a
too.
cat? What's wrong
Yes,
cats
the cat scares me.
of the city, Homer. I promise.
It's saying hi. It's a
It
kitty.
scares me.
Leave the poor
It's
cat
so
alone.
fucking wide. It's so
Yeah,
uncanny. It's terrifying.
That's fair. That's fair. The eyes are a little bit on. I mean, but there's
I-
weird cats.
I do have to say, I think PlayStation blew its load by showing their best looking game in the beginning of this conference.
Andrew is still stuck on those graphics.
They were great, man. That chess game looks great. I can't
Yeah.
wait for that to come out.
It's like
Bruh.
it's like how every time they make a Tetris game, it gets a different company. It's reimagining it. Like, that's just chess. It's the whole city. It's
I
like
thought it
it's
was
like
gonna be.
Saints Row chess.
Oh my god, I'd play that. That sounds great.
Is this the new Dark Souls?
Yes.
Okay, what is this?
It's a Dark Souls X Narnia.
I was gonna guess I would have guessed Life is Strange if I didn't already know about the Life is Strange game.
What do you
that already
mean?
is out.
There's a new one?
Yeah, Life is Strange 3 came out, I think all at once this time instead of being a thing. But it's from the people that made Before the Storm, so it's probably trash.
Oh, okay. Good.
that-
Good
See,
to know.
doesn't it look like Dark Souls?
Yes,
And now
very
a
much.
Silver Knight
I can
shows
tell
up.
by the sun
Oh, look at that.
existing.
I mean, that's a Final
The sun,
Fantasy
that's true.
landscape right there.
Who's there?
Technically not.
Well, it is a
Oh,
Square
it could
Enix
be.
game.
It's Square Enix.
Oh, is it Squeenix?
Swear to God.
Yeah,
asshole,
Squeenix.
show
Oh, it's a-
yourself.
Show myself. I've shown.
Where are you?
Right here at the end.
In your butt? Oh, on her bracelet.
Yeah, I was looking at her bracelet.
So let me get this straight. I'm somewhere that's
But she didn't
not
have
what
it.
I would call Earth. I'm
Wow, she just changed her clothes pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
and
Okay, we're back to this.
talking to a cop.
Continuity's out the window.
Did I just do that?
I just move shit with my freaking might.
There was no adjustment period. We just went straight to her doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
I'll probably fly next.
Oh, that's cool. I
Spot
like
the basalt columns. Where are they?
Oh, that's too far. Good to know there's a line.
That lip
Wow,
sync
this looks
weird.
like shit. Like the graphics just
Does
don't
it?
look like a PS5 game. No, this looks awful, but that's fine.
I can see that.
The people
I can
just
see
look
what
like
you mean.
shit. Look at
No, the mouth.
It looks like a PS4 game.
Specifically, this looks fine, but the mouths are
Yeah.
freaking me out.
Formidable of all the hunters.
These are
Why
the
does she-
mouths.
wait.
These are the mouths that are made by somebody that made an uncanny cat.
Yeah, these, like so. I don't. Whatever.
They're struggling with faces a bit. Yay, fun magic. Oop, fuck those guys.
I think this is promising.
Or spoken. I mean, I'll play it as a parkour mage. That could be fun.
So what? It's just
Except it's
just
open
an
world,
isekai?
so
No name for a demon.
If it's anything like prototype, I'm good.
It
looked like it a little.
what?
Okay, can we get a different name?
Was that like the?
Tanta
Sila?
Silent Tanta.
If you give me a triangle mask, I'm just thinking prey.
Doesn't it look like it plays like Dark Souls though? Did you see that
No.
last fight? No. Okay.
No.
That
It
last
looks-
fight was
it-
like
it
Pontiff
looks like
Sullivan.
It looks like it's gonna play like Here, pause it real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a military shooter, so I don't care. But anyways, the it looks like it plays like what's that? What was that really decently okay? Fuck. What was the name of that game? The
Nier?
superhero one. When you play as
Oh,
an
Prototype.
electric boy.
Marvel
Prototype.
Avengers.
Infamous.
Infamous. It looked like it had Infamous combat, where you're like
Kind of,
you're doing
yeah.
a mix between like these pre-existing abilities, but then you're also doing like Dark Souls dodging, where you're like hut 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 hut
I
hut.
just
So
I saw,
you're
some of,
agreeing
I saw
with
some of
me.
the acrobatics and magic and stuff, and I was just like, oh, this looks kind of neat. But then she went over this giant sprawling landscape, and I'm like, oh, it's an open world game. Great.
But it could be like a prototype
Like,
or
which
anything like Dying Light.
I don't think that's a good selling point.
Breath of the Wild
But
and
it is-
Death Stranding did interesting things with being an open world game, but everyone else is just fucking stagnant as shit and is doing nothing with
That's
the
fair.
genre. And so the moment you show me an open world, I'm like, all right, well, now you got to work uphill to prove to me that you're doing
Also,
anything
that's-
with
yeah.
that. Because I
It's a
just
Square
imagine a
Enix.
fucking map full of icons saying, go to all the
Ooh.
things and do the stuff.
It's a Square
Yeah,
Enix
it's a
open
Square
world,
Enix.
which means it's going to be like
Which-
is it going to be like
yeah.
Final Fantasy 10 or Final Fantasy 20?
15.
What Final Fantasy is it on?
14?
There you go.
15
Isn't
had
it
a very
14?
boring open
15?
world. It looked neat, but it was just a bunch of monster missions that you picked up at hubs, then went to do like an MMO. And MMO is like one of the lowest fruits you could possibly shoot for an open world, is being like, oh yeah, you pick up quests and then you go do them, and that's all the world does. The Breath of the Wild should have changed open world games forever, and instead it just became the standalone thing that everyone ignores, even though it's fucking Zelda. And usually
I was going to say
everyone chases
I'm
Zelda.
fine with that. I'd rather just keep having a nice Zelda game rather than
I mean,
than
they don't
everyone
make
trying to
Zelda, but like
copy-paste.
just the idea of like actually crafting every part of your open world to be interesting to explore on its own terms, instead of just being like, wow, did I get all the chests yet? I launched Assassin's Creed Unity, and when I press start, I literally can't see the map because there's 500 overlapping nodes, and when I zoom in, it just renders more of them that were under those ones because there was too many of them. Like that's what it's like to open the fucking map of an Assassin's Creed game, and it's like, this is just fucking depressing. It just looks like work.
Yes, it
And
is.
it is.
That's the point.
Yes, it is.
Like, at least in the first
It's
Assassin's
definitely
Creed
designed
game,
like
all
that.
the collectibles weren't on the map, so you actually had to look for them, and the map was useful for looking around to find out what the city was shaped like and where you were going.
And the collectibles were actually kind of more or less well designed.
And then in
I
half these
think I got
games, when you
everything.
hide the fucking collectibles or whatever the fuck the map's covered in, because it's like, here's the 15 categories of things we show on the map at the same time for some reason, you can like toggle them all off, and then you unpause, then pause again, and they'll be back. And it's like, why? I just want to be able to see the map. What's wrong with you?
Oh no.
Who's this for?
Yeah, but if you hide them, then they can't shove you your, come back for our game once again every time thing. It's all like
games are just
recurrent
designed to just
engagement thing.
kill time
can't be.
forever.
Is that true?
What is Andrew looking at?
Oh, sorry, I was looking up the voice cast for the Tiny Tina game because I wanted to see if like Ashley Birch was there, but like apparently there's just like a bunch of celebrity voice actors in this game. Which,
Well, yeah.
Which is a bad
no,
idea
how
for
about
video
you-
games
yeah.
because they're usually
How
not
about
very
you-
good voice actors.
No, they're not.
Oh, you mean-
and I would rather
thought
you
were
just go.
like famous.
Well, I'd
Right.
rather you just go find voice actors. Don't.
And then you have
like,
Peter
don't grab
Dinklage problems
famous
where they're
people.
too expensive or unavailable for like DLC. So then you just awkwardly have to like replace them, or that character doesn't talk, or they're absent for some reason.
Yeah, and I don't think these are like cheap people either. You have like Andy Samberg, Will Arnett, Wanda Skies. Like, why? Just go
Wanda
fucking
Sykes,
Wanda Sykes. Is that her name?
I think so.
I don't know. But yeah,
Wanda
But
Skies.
yeah,
Sykes.
I
Wanda
wouldn't say these
Wanda
people are
in
like.
the skies forever.
I wouldn't say these people are like, you know, they're not Peter Dinklage expensive, but I don't think they're.
Don't hire
know-
Peter Dinklage. He doesn't know how to voice act.
Well, he doesn't. But I don't think these are people that are like. They're not like, you know, they're not cheap. I don't think they're for a company that had to like swindle money from a publisher to make their game funded. I don't think it's, I don't think that they're that level of costly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gearbox
Sorry, I
is
didn't mean to
messed
take
up.
away. I just
Let's look at the shooter from Ubisoft.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Oh god, is
I
it
hope it's not
Ubisoft?
another
Also a
Call
Java
of-
company.
Fuck.
I hope it's not another Call of Duty game.
Hostage situations.
More live action. Look at this graphics.
Or no, sorry, Rainbow Six. I meant to say it's Ubisoft, right?
It's
As
yeah, I
long
don't
as
know
it's
that
not,
it's Ubisoft.
as long as
I
it's not
figured
another
it
Tom
was.
Clancy game, I'll be okay.
Terror.
If it's a
Definitely gonna
Tom
be.
Clancy game, I might lose my
there's
mind.
stuff going on.
Yeah.
Oh, it is
God
Rainbow Six.
damn it! It's
Freaking
another
hell.
fucking Tom
What is
Clancy
it?
game.
I knew it.
What is
How
it?
did I know
What
it?
is
I
it?
didn't-
Rainbow
I
Six
swear I didn't look it
prototype?
up.
What is this
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, it's Rainbow Six something.
I swear
Listen,
I didn't look
if
it
you're
up.
if you're in a helicopter approaching a supernatural horror scene, you got to get out of that helicopter, man. It's not. That thing's not gonna last. I thought he was gonna shove it up his ass.
This is a competitive.
I thought he was
This
gonna
is a
shove that
competitive
gun right up his ass. What was that?
I was genuinely excited for a second, and they ruined it. I thought,
The way they cut away, like the timing of the cut was like euphemistic.
This is a competitive shooter, though. Look at the animations of the way they work.
oh no, this is
This
yeah,
is it.
this is the
Oh,
new
this
Rainbow
is-
Six.
oh.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's what's going
I
on
thought it was
here.
gonna be. Oh, yeah.
As one.
That sucks.
I mean, I have not cared about a Tom Clancy game incredibly long time.
It's really not Tom
And it's- and
Clancy.
it's not gonna
games.
Is that
change.
your
It's just
final?
The unknown.
Is that your
Tom
final
Clancy has been
sound?
dead for years.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know he's been dead forever. He didn't make the games ever, I don't think.
Or the settings, even. None of this is his.
No.
He didn't. He
They're
never
just-
writ-
they're just
wrote
using
any
his
of
name.
this.
Also, half of his books at this point were ghost written. I think a lot of them were ghost written when he was alive, but
Oh,
I think they
that's
still
fair,
make
that's
they still
fair,
make Tom
yeah.
Clancy books now, and he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just using
Just a
name.
brand.
Well, yeah.
Also, Tom Clancy was a terrible person anyway.
well,
Yeah, well, I just don't care about the person.
Have
I'm
you-
just saying
have you
I'm just
read
referring to
his
Tom Clancy as a brand. I don't care about any.
I
of the
know, as
games.
a brand. I know.
a Ubisoft original, as
Military
opposed to
shooter
what?
and Ubisoft is like it's like a Venn diagram where instead of the middle being what I'm interested in, the middle is a fucking black hole of my interest. Like I don't give a like it's negative space. Like oh wow, that's just
Yeah.
only negative strikes. Cool.
They also
Epic
play.
Games. I hope it's not Fortnite.
Remedy. Okay, so it's
Oh,
control
okay,
people.
so it's
Oh,
not
Alan Wake.
Fortnite.
It's Alan Wake.
Oh, they're remaking
What
it.
happened to his
That's
knees,
right, I've heard
Alan?
about
Are
this.
you okay? Where's your? You're so tiny.
You see, there's a thing called chairs.
Oh, it's the same. It's like a remaster. It's not even a
Oh,
remake.
wait, just
This is
make
shot-
new
this is shot for shot.
games. Can we make
This
new
is shot for
games?
shot. This is like a upscale.
This is the original game. It's not even that updated looking.
Calm down, Mr.
No, it isn't. It's like this is basic.
This is too hype of a context for a trailer that's just an HD re-release.
This is a 10-year-old game or more.
Yeah, no, like this isn't even a proper remake. This is just the re-release. This isn't trailer worthy. This is tweet worthy.
Yeah.
You just tweet that
I
we put out Alan Wake on the new consoles. It's the same.
I remember liking this game. I played it for a
hated it.
review and I did. I thought
People
it was,
say a lot of deep shit about it. It's like, I don't know, maybe if I go through, I'll like have a read that's interesting. But for me, it was like, hey, it's a survival horror game that's a bad horror game because literally every time an enemy shows up, it shows like a fucking wrestler intro where the game pauses in its tracks and the camera zooms in on the guy that just showed up. It's like, look, an enemy, here he comes! And then you fight him the same way as everybody else.
Yeah, I thought it
it's-
had too much combat, but
Yeah. It's like the same super like routine and like it's like the Dead Space problem a little bit, where you get like really
exactly.
methodical.
I was going to say Dead Space kind of has
Yeah.
that problem as well.
Yeah, you get really
Yeah.
methodical about how you fight every enemy in a specific way every time, basically, because like there's just like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
an answer. It's a puzzle you solve once and you just keep doing it. And in that game in particular, it's like shine a light on them, then shoot them with a gun. But like at
That's
least
why
Dead
Alien
Space can try
Isolation-
to surprise you, and like horror games usually try to surprise you in some way. Alan Wake,
But I
just did-
felt-
Alan Wake literally, it wasn't like an enemy would show up and then show a whole cutscene showing that enemy, and it's like, oh, I guess that's like the animation for, oh, it's a new enemy, be worried about the new enemy. But then like then you play through the rest of the game and it happens every encounter. It's not to show the new enemy, it's to show every enemy of every encounter for the rest of the game. They're just like, here's a cutscene showing the fight starting, and it's like, that's trash. That's horrible.
I got the impression, I it's been a while, but I didn't come out of it thinking that it really focused too much on the horror aspect.
That's all it is.
What I liked about
forced
it-
at nighttime and being spooky and monsters attack you.
Yeah,
and then
but
also
it
sometimes
doesn't-
inanimate objects attack you, and that's the better part because they don't have wrestler intros announcing them.
What I remember liking was the world building and the storyline.
You might as well play
But it's
Baby
been a
Metal
long
every
time.
time someone walked on camera. It's like, here it goes. Here's the song that they picked to play when they enter the arena. Now do this flashlight thing again. That was like most
What
of
I'm
the game,
surprised
if
is
I
that
remember correctly, was just combat over and
this
over
doesn't-
again. And then they made a sequel
doesn't
that's
even
even
look-
more combat oriented.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. What I'm surprised is that this trailer doesn't even. They didn't even touch the 3D models. It's just maybe textures, maybe.
Oh, it's ugly. It's so
It is super old.
It's
yeah.
so explicitly like Xbox 360 characters. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, I almost for a second thought it was Alone in the Dark. It looked that bad. I was like, oh, did they bring? Are they porting
it was
Alone
like
in the Dark
that was
into
like the
this fucking
same
game?
year.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, damn, this looks awful. And then it zoomed in on the people. I was like, oh no, it didn't get any. It is just a 360 game you ported. What happened? Like, all right. I mean, I guess you could charge people $70 for that. That seems reasonable. It's
Yeah.
pretty fucking. That's a good $70 looking game right there.
$70 for Alan Wake on a PS5, the PS5 that you already paid through the nose to get. My God, Sony is out.
That one's probably not 70. That one's probably not even 60.
Maybe.
I would guess, because it does
I
not
bet
look
you.
like a high effort remake, and it's not even.
I-
When
They
they
should give it away
when they
for
charged
free.
$40 to $60
That's what they
for
should.
remakes in previous consoles, that was when it was like, it's the Jack and Daxter trilogy and shit. That's just one Alan Wake game. They can't.
I mean, it
they
is
can't
the
justify
Alan Wake
charging
game.
the original price again.
You're right. It is. It's $30.
Yeah, they
Okay,
can't
that's
charge.
good, that's
They
good.
can't even charge the original price for it. That'd be fucked up. Like it's just
mean,
a
yeah,
fucking
that would-
port. It's low. It's
That'd
low
be
effort.
Activision level of fucked up.
Oh, and the reason it looks like shit is because it's a port for the PS4. They just also have it on the PS5.
Yeah, it's a multi-tier port.
Yeah,
but
I
still,
accept that Remedy has fans, and like I get like every time they make a game, I'm impressed by how ambitious it seems to be, and that they're trying something really cool. And like I usually like the setting or like some kind of storytelling mechanic of it. I have never liked a Remedy game though. They're never very good to play. I don't understand if it. I can't. I've seen people praise the gameplay of Control, and I'm like, how? What was good about the
What
gameplay
are-
of Control? It's just
Wait,
a really
Control is
boring.
from Remedy? That's right.
Yeah, they made
Aw.
Alan Wake, and I mean they're famous for making good gameplay originally because they made Max Payne. They made Max Payne and
I
then
was gonna
Alan
say,
Wake and
didn't
then
they
Quantum
make
Break,
Max
which no
Payne?
one talks about, and then Control. And
I liked
it's-
Max Payne 1 and 2, but then I'm looking at the
Yeah.
rest, like Alan Wake, no, Quantum Break, no, Vanguard, no, Crossfire, no, Control,
Oh,
no.
they made.
like
They made
made Death
Vanguard. I
Rally.
thought Vanguard was platinum.
I played the shit
It
out of Death
says
Valley.
here,
Isn't
Death
Vanguard
Vanguard's
the,
the type-
isn't Vanguard the power sliding game? Oh, Vanquish. Never mind.
That's Vanquished, yeah.
But no, like, God, Control was just a really boring third-person shooter with way too much loot, and all of the loot was just tiny percentage upgrades. But you had a limited inventory space, so you were forced to constantly crunch the numbers and like dispose of all of your dupes and shit. Like you're playing, like you're poking, like every boss fight, you opened up a fucking Pokemon booster pack basically. And just every fight in the game was just another fucking Pokemon booster pack, except all the Pokemon were Squirtle with slightly different numbers on the card. And you had to like get rid of all the shittier Squirtles and keep the better Squirtles in your inventory. It's like, what the fuck? This is a terrible RPG. What RPG? Throwing RPG mechanics in every other genre that has nothing to do with role playing was a fucking mistake. Because Control does not need any, like, it could have easily had Alan Wake's level of having like no real progression, and it would have not affected the gameplay at all. It's just fucking pushing some numbers around, and it's just a relatively straightforward third-person shooter that looked cool, and that's not gameplay.
Regarding Alan Wake Remastered, it's going to be released on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series. Also, it's going to be released on Windows. And apparently it's just a 4K patch and some there's a line here on Wikipedia saying, besides general improvements across the game and support for 4K resolutions, the remaster will also include the DLC. So it's just a patch.
So it's Dark Souls. It sounds
again.
like it might include American Nightmare then.
Oh, they might. It says the DLC of an... No, it doesn't include. It doesn't seem to include American Nightmare because that's not a DLC. That's a standalone game.
Wait, that game a DLC?
Apparently.
Oh.
Probably had some like costumes and guns.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Oh, so great.
the bad part of the world.
I might play it. I haven't recorded Alan Wake. Maybe it's aged.
I mean, if you're gonna play it, might as well play the latest version.
I'm in favor of just like games being generally available. Like, I would love to have HD re-releases, even low effort ones, of like, especially like all of the early Xbox 360 and PS3 games that just weren't also available digitally, because a lot of them are just like, good luck finding a disc of that like not very profitable game that's lost to the wind. Like every now and then somebody mentions something in the comment section and I'm like, what is that game? And it's like, oh, it's like a year 1 or year 2 PS3 game, and you can only get it if you can track down the $200 disc that's there's only 100 copies left in the world.
Apparently Alan Wake and Control are the same universe, as there is DLC
the
that
new
links
Control
the two
DLC
together.
has Alan Wake stuff apparently.
That's cool. I can't believe that two games I don't like are connected.
Yeah.
I was trying to find what the DLC is for Alan Wake, and I just keep finding people. They're just like, did you know the Control's part of Alan Wake? I was like, oh, okay, great, cool, good for them, I guess.
Here we go.
What are we watching?
Shoes.
Oh, no.
GTA 5.
Oh my god, GTA 5's coming out?
Looks better than Alan Wake.
A depressing
I didn't know
amount
they're
of
making a
this
new
video,
GTA.
A depressing
Damn,
amount of this video is not new games. God damn it.
I've been waiting. God, GTA 4 came out like a long time ago. I didn't know they were gonna make another one.
They're finally making GTA 5.
Thank God.
It said
I've been waiting.
enhanced
I hope it's-
gameplay. It said enhanced gameplay. What do you want to bet that they did not touch gameplay a single bit?
This
I'm
game's,
sorry,
this game's about as old. This game's about as old as Alan Wake. And
what? Is there anything different about? Is this just the PS4?
And it's still
This is just
running.
the PC version on the PS5.
I mean, this is the second remake of a PS3 game.
Yeah, the shadows aren't even path traced. Did you see the shadows of his head in the wall?
I'm sure the voice actors are happy to keep getting paid for this game that came
Without
out.
having to put more work in.
Yeah.
If they even do.
Oh wait, they don't.
Might
I'm
not,
sorry.
actually.
Never mind.
It's Rockstar for one, and also this is a remaster, which might get them out of the clause or something.
No, it's not a remaster. It's an upgrade.
Or a new version. Yeah, I don't know. You know how lawyers are.
I'm so tired of just how little AAA news is actually
Look at this.
people
This is a new
making
Silent Hill
new
game.
games.
It's a new Silent Hill game.
That guy melted. Ooh, I like floaty invisible sword. Scissors lady. Is this the new clock tower?
I don't know.
What?
Did you see the giant bloody scissors?
That guy got ghosted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
This guy has nanomachines in his
He
eyes.
Slenderman?
Wait, what?
Oh no, it's Slenderman. No way.
Wait.
Yeah, that's the lady with the cut lips. Aren't these just?
This looks weird. Oh, mobility.
Still your fear.
I bet he does that a lot.
I will be her salvation.
I bet you watch him go with his eye like 100 times per playthrough.
The time is nigh.
Hey, look, you know what? It's original and it's not a remake. I'm
Hopefully.
okay with that.
It looks original.
Some shit's happening. This is probably in first place so far for this whole video.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Teeth woman.
New age will dawn.
Teeth woman's a nightmare.
There you go.
Ghostwire Tokyo. Okay, fine. Oh, that looks good.
Looks interesting.
Best
I
of
wasn't so
E3
sure about the
award
voice
goes
acting.
to Ghostwire Tokyo. Its competition was GTA 5 again.
We're only midway through. We're only midway
through, and I've only seen one original game so far.
No,
kidding?
two of them. Two original games.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I forgot the
Magic Lady.
Whatever. Oh, and the third one was the Ubisoft, the Resident Evil.
Dead Space?
Resident Evil? No.
Nope.
Tom Clancy doesn't count.
Oh, it's
That's
Guardians
not
of the
original.
Galaxy, another fucking Marvel video game.
Oh no.
It'll be great.
Wait, how come they don't
It'll
look
have-
right?
It'll have microtransactions, and it'll have RPG mechanics for some reason.
Wait a second.
Get ready for a skill tree where you increase your damage by 1% per level.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, I think I'm having a heart attack.
Cease this at once.
Fine.
Pre-order for a slightly different costume.
What are you doing, buddy?
Wait, how come the dog looks better than all the other human models?
It doesn't look better than the cat.
Our dog tech is high.
Or join the cult. So let us investigate for you.
Look at that dog.
The cat looked better.
Oh wait, isn't this
That
the
dog
Guardian?
looks better than any.
Isn't this the Guardians game that's single player and you only play as Star-Lord?
Wait,
Maybe.
a single player game?
Because you would think it's a co-op game because it's, you know, it's this team. Like I want to play as Rocket and fly around and shit, but no. I think it's a single player game where you just play as the most boring character. It is me. I am White Man with guns. I shoot guns. That's my superpowers.
Wait,
I
out
shoot
of that
guns.
whole cast, they picked this jerk
Yeah,
to
because
be
he's
the protagonist?
Yep, he's so fucking boring.
What? No way.
What?
Everybody else was so much better. I mean, if it's
I mean, yeah, I do want to play as literally everybody else more.
everybody. But then again, if it were a first-person shooter, it'd be okay because you don't see him. But it seems to be third-person because,
Guardians
of
of
course,
the
because
Galaxy.
microtransactions, really.
That was completely intentional. The Milano's on her way.
Ooh, these voices are not what I'm used to now. They did that joke in the movie
Yeah.
already. You stole the joke from the movie that say you in the trailer. You know, I want to play as Rocket and Gamora. I don't want to play as Star-Lord.
Rocket and Gamora, that's a cool name. I don't know anything about superheroes.
Well, because it sounds like the Star Trek meme.
Did you see that banana being fapped? I saw that banana being fapped.
Oh, look, RPG mechanics.
Oh, this is vampire.
Oh,
or
is it?
whatever.
Never
Yeah.
mind then.
Yeah.
Is it Vampire Bloodlines?
Yep, it's a bloodline.
Oh, this. Yeah.
Oh no.
These visuals are odd.
Wait, is that how you walk? Are you okay?
I'm worried about. This interface.
What was that called that?
They have a trailer for combat in Vampire Bloodlines?
I don't like the interface makes it
Did they
look
not
like.
learn anything from the original one?
Is any of this gonna have?
Wait,
are
you
we
only
gonna,
sniped him once?
Are we
Why?
gonna have any dialogue?
Yeah.
You're just gonna keep
They don't-
showing
like,
the
these are-
faction. That's like the
these screens
character.
are primed.
That's the character creation screen. Is those factions? I'm pretty sure. The interface looks like fucking Tom Clancy's.
Yeah, it's done
Bad
by
City.
a
Is that
Ubisoft producer.
Oh, Vampire Blood
Oh, it's
Hunt.
Blood Hunt. It's not Vampire.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
I was gonna say, why does this look like a really shitty game that isn't about RPGs at all?
Because it's not.
This
All
looks
of a sudden-
that game looks multiplayer.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it a little.
Yeah, it might be fun
I mean,
for that, but without
if the
telling
combat
us early enough what
plays-
it was, you're just making us think it's
Yeah.
that they fucked up the Masquerade game.
It's definitely World of Darkness, though. It's the same setting.
Yeah, well, yeah, it says Vampire the Masquerade. It's just not Bloodlines.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah.
Hello.
We offer eternity. Shut up. Your esteemed
Oh, is this Deathloop? The best game?
It might be. It doesn't look like it. Is it?
Bunch of masked assassins.
It's coming next week. Actually, this week, tomorrow, in fact.
Locked us all in one repeating day.
Right?
Yeah, Deathloop.
Deathloop.
It's looping.
Endless party.
Yeah, I think it comes out next week.
That you can never leave.
I mean, tomorrow, as of the time this video going up.
I think I've heard it described as like a horror, not horror. It's like a immersive sim roguelike thing.
Supposed to be unforgettable.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
so we'll see if it's better than Moon Crash for you or not.
Hopefully so.
What these guys doing? All spewing eons of bullshit. Oh, so how come I don't remember shit? This Party Island hangover is not my thing. My thing is answers. Who are these people?
Oh, it's gonna be.
What do they want with me?
Detective
And why
work.
is she always one step ahead?
Sexy, brutal Deathloop.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out what's going on in this looping world and killing everybody. I mean, I think it actually will have a lot in common with Moon Crash.
Somebody's sending me these messages from the future.
As long it doesn't seem to have a timer like Moon Crash does. I've heard that it doesn't have a timer.
I always thought you played as the lady.
Some type of experiment. How does this time loop work? Does anybody remember? Why is everyone wearing a mask? What the hell is notes anymore? Who am I?
Colt, I want you to remember. I want you to remember why you came here.
Huh. Is that? Damn, I look good.
This is a good trailer.
I've imagined myself a way out.
I can imagine people being bored though, because it's got exposition in it. But it's better than the joke about the whiskers.
That was really goofy. I loved it.
Yeah, this is Arcane too. Just typical Arcane.
Gonna break this time loop.
Maybe you play as the lady.
There are 8 people on this island. One of them is a furry.
Oh no, they include Bethesda at the bottom.
At first you don't succeed, die. I think Bethesda publishes all of Arcane's games.
Well, but now it's Microsoft.
Yeah, yeah, Microsoft owns Bethesda, so.
The three original games. We got this.
What does Deck 5 make?
Wow. Apparently
Deck 5.
VHS tapes.
And
Is this gonna like stop being relevant soon? Because like I think VHS tapes are now non-existent.
Nobody knows
longer
what that's
than they
supposed to
have
look
been
like.
in existence, right?
Well, like the more we see chromatic aberration, the more we realize no one even knows what chromatic aberration looks like either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
Kid Amnesia? Radiohead? Wait, is that just an album? Is that just a music album with computer graphics? What the fuck was that?
Maybe.
Can we see that again? If you don't
can
mind?
you go to the what was the web address for that?
What bothered me about what bothered me about this is that all the stuff on here has chromatic aberration, but nothing on the screen does. Only the interface stuff does.
Yeah.
And it's all the same rhythm over and over again. Is this a Radiohead album?
I
Trying to
wouldn't
place
know, but
what kind of sound it is.
it certainly isn't doing a good job of making me interested in the game itself.
I don't know if it's a game.
That makes it even worse.
It's confusing.
It looks like a game. It's moving around.
Kid Amnesia exhibition. Kid Amnesia. That kerning is
For
weird.
a moment, it looked like a Stalker game at the beginning with that big thing.
Apparently, yeah, it's Radiohead.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
it
it said
is
Radiohead
it
right
is
here.
a song.
I was just confused. Like, is it just an album?
It is an album. Yeah, it seems to be.
In November.
Let's see.
An upcoming release of the album
the
Kid
Machine at Cross AGP.
So, according to Wikipedia, it's an upcoming release of the album Kid A and Amnesiac by the band Radiohead. And so basically it's just the two albums put together, as far as I can tell.
And I think it's just, yeah, I was gonna say, I think Epic just made a in-game, like an in-engine video for them in the Unreal Engine.
It pulls back and it's all on a screen in Fortnite.
So I can't wait for that to be a $70 PS5 game. Looks pretty good.
It sounded nice. I like
$70 PS5 exclusive Radiohead album. Where did you get that? Wait, where did you wait?
Butt pocket.
She conjured it.
Do you not know about your
wow,
butt
it's
pocket?
the same. It's just like Last of Us 2.
That sounded good. It wasn't bad.
This is one of those indie-looking games where all the comments get really mad because they only accept AAA graphics and everything else makes them like see red.
This looks better than Alan Wake. So much better.
It does look better than Alan Wake.
I also know this song. Where is it
from?
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, it's Mario without the hat. Oh, this is great.
Oh my god. This dog's gonna have a crisis. Whoa! Scary crap.
Jesus.
That was a metal chain.
Wow, he looks fantastic. It doesn't look great. It looks brilliant.
That water glisten is nice. So I get that you possess animals, but why?
Probably because it's... Oh, okay, it's... Maybe it's some kind of like...
It's in the Raftoverse.
This is... They're talking kind of French. It might be Creoles from... I think it's... Samoan or something.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think it's...
Paper monsters.
Samoan. Oh no. Industrialization has shown its ugly head.
We didn't see much of it, but it looks like one of those open worlds that doesn't waste all of its time. I mean, it's space. Okay, this is a little more vacant.
Oh yeah, I saw this. This is the only thing I saw.
You can pet the crabs?
You can pet the crab. Quick, tell
that game
pet
looks
the dog.
fantastic.
Can you pet the dog? Tweet. You can pet the crab in whatever that game was called.
Chia. I think it was.
That's like third place.
Yeah, it's like Tachia. Yeah, that looked pretty good. I'd play that. That's good.
Yeah, that looks really good.
What percentage of these videos are just games that are already out? But again,
The Task of Ganesh.
What is this one?
It's Uncharted 4, and also the standalone one they made afterwards. Because they made a standalone one for those two female supporting cast characters.
Look, did that say it's coming out on PC? The thing you could buy instead of a PS5?
Oh, is it?
Well, you can't buy the graphics cards though.
You can buy a...
I don't understand how you get this far in the Uncharted franchise without getting really bored.
Because that's not what... Because you're looking for a very particular experience, Keith.
A lot of people that play Uncharted 4 never played the previous ones, I bet.
Maybe. I played the trilogy and I was so bored by the end. It's not very good third-person shooting. Like even by the standards.
No, it's
like I think third-person shooting is way worse than first-person shooting because the camera makes the game run worse and aim worse and play worse, and you see more in one direction and all that shit. But like it's not even good by the standards of the genre.
A diverse and passionate group of storytellers at our
his hands.
AAA studios all across the
Did
globe.
you see his hands?
Everything we do is driven and
What's
inspired by
with you in hands?
As creators,
They're
PlayStation
weird.
5
Nobody
gives us
moves
the
their hands like
opportunity
that.
to push the boundaries of storytelling even further.
Controller looks so weird. It looks like a
PlayStation
crotch.
Studios have already delivered such incredible gaming
Like a
experiences for PS5, and we're only just getting started.
It looks
As you'll
weirdly
see
like
today
pants.
With the lineup of exclusive games coming for PlayStation Studios, we're going to continue to drive innovation, advance gaming, while always embracing the legacy of PlayStation and creating games that matter, games that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Apart from the previous console.
Yeah, wait a second. That's not true because
you're almost entirely showing us games that we've seen before.
And also games that are not exclusive. None of these are exclusive
from
as far as
here
I can
on
tell.
out, now it's only new games that you've never seen before.
More Marvel?
All right, you've never seen whatever this game is. You've never seen it before.
Okay.
I was afraid it was going to just be Guardians again.
Is this Beyond Two Souls 2?
No, this is Wolverine.
It's something Marvel. Oh, that would do it. But it's actually a remake of the 2013 Wolverine.
Oh my god.
Wolverine the movie, the game, which was actually pretty okay.
The long con.
Oh god, it's a nothing teaser. Gotcha. Okay.
Dang it.
See you in 3 years.
We're pushing. Keith, we are pushing the envelope for what
from
makes
Insomniac,
games.
so you can forgive them. They don't. They
Didn't
don't know
they
what
make Tsushima?
yeah.
They also made
I'm saying
Spider-Man.
They don't know what they. Fair.
Oh, is it the Spider-Man people?
Yeah,
Did I,
it's
did I
Spider-Man
mix,
people.
Did I mix them up?
Yeah,
so,
you mixed them
Tsushima's
up.
someone else.
Keith,
Tsushima,
it's your
Tsushima made it
favorite
infamous.
genre.
Sucker Punch. That's what they're.
Yeah, Sucker
I don't know,
Racing games
Cars.
with organ soundtrack. Talk about it. Oh, of course it's Gran Turismo. I was gonna say talk about pretentious Gran Turismo.
I am never gonna forget this game. This is an unforgettable game.
What do you even put in? What's the point of a racing game trailer, honestly? Besides just announcing that it exists, like you're like, hey, there's a new racing game, and then
like
people that want it just go
Pokemon.
buy it.
Gran
Like
Turismo
this-
is like Pokemon, but for racing nerds.
This is porn.
Isn't this
Like,
just like sports
none
games
of-
but for racing nerds?
No,
Isn't it
it's
just
not
a
sports. It's Pokemon.
It's a sport game,
but-
isn't it? Is it just the
Nah,
same game every year, but with like
Yes.
different cars?
like Pokemon.
There's just so little to
It's not different cars.
advertise.
What do you mean different cars? You
It's
need to have the
different
Supra.
cars.
You need to have the
Well,
RX-5.
yeah, but they're the
RX-7
different
sorry.
years. They're like, oh, this is
No,
the
no, no.
2021 Supra.
Look at-
and they're like,
No,
you're like,
there's
oh,
no-
It
okay.
looked basically
You need to have
perfect
the
like 10 years
1993
ago.
Supra. You need
Well,
to have
how
the,
do you
the-
how do you fuck up a car? You just make the reflections look better. That's about it. Like a car.
that's
is
about
pretty,
it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like I don't know. These cars look the same as they did in the
Oh, look!
360.
Did you see a 2000 Mercedes Le Mans car right there? It's an old car.
Ew, icons.
Open world.
Ew.
Maybe.
Open
That looks
world.
like a mobile game.
Oh, you can
Okay.
customize it down to the detail. Wow.
Was that even navigatable? Was that just like a menu? That city?
does sound like it.
I think
You
that
can
city
take
was just a
Instagram
menu.
pictures with your car. Wow.
That's Gran Turismo.
This-
It's Pokemon. I
this
tell
is
you, it's
so-
Pokemon.
This is so cardboard.
It is. It's Gran Turismo.
There's no narrative because it's a racing game, so then it's just like, I don't know, fucking car porn. Like, what are we gonna do? Show gameplay the whole time? It's just a racing game. So
Oh,
here's,
look at a second,
wow,
did you see?
look, you can take
And,
photos of your
Abu Dhabi.
fake car.
You can buy your own spoilers. Wow.
I know.
Spoiler
Those
alert.
racetracks. This is
You
ooh,
can
what is
drive on
this?
the wrong side of the road. Wow.
Is this in the Indianapolis? I don't know what that one is.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know the tracks very well. I don't know this one either. This is not real life. Or it doesn't. Oh yeah, some of them might not be real life.
I'm just caught on the fact that like we've had like practically perfectly rendered cars like for like 10 years now. So like the graphics just mean nothing to me. It's like, yeah, it's a smooth metal surface.
Did you see the
Look at it
80,
go.
Wow. Is that a
87?
military Humvee? Wow.
There was
They're
the
doing
87.
shaky cam to make it look realistic.
Wow. Is that a guy? Wow.
No, it's only girls driving.
I'll never understand.
That was a good trailer though, I think.
It's fine. It's just, what is there to show?
It's absolutely just porn though. You're absolutely correct in your take though.
Somewhere on this street, there's a good man, and he said, "Stop." Ugh. Ah, fuck.
It is Spider-Man.
It's our third Marvel trailer. They're just taking over the
Who has
world.
made
Wow.
it with
Is this
Dr. Octopus.
Spider-Man? They have never made a Spider-Man game for the PlayStation before.
Why do black
No.
people always have electric powers?
Do they?
Yes.
Hey, wow! Just because Static Shock existed doesn't mean that all black people have electricity.
Wait, Static Shock is a
Black Lightning or Black Thunder, or
Oh, yeah, that might be.
like
Shazam was white and he had lightning powers.
There are
Oh, look at the
there are
moves on that dude.
legitimately like dozens of black guys that have electric powers specifically for some reason.
That's weird. Yeah.
Because they've got such electrifying personalities, Keith.
So
And
the
Joy is
moment I saw
correct.
like Miles Morales also has lightning powers, I'm like, oh okay, of course. Spider-Man 2. 'Cause there's two
Wow.
Spider-Mans.
Wait, there's two Spider-Man.
23.
Another
It's
Insomniac
gonna
game.
come.
By the time any game comes out for the PS5, the PS6 is gonna be out. It's like,
Nah.
So
have you shown a game that's coming out
No
like
joke,
this year?
audience, by the way, you can Google that shit. It's just a thing. There's so many electric black men in superheroes for some reason. It's like a typecast for some reason. one of the less flattering interpretations I've heard is that it's because they're never the main character. So they give them the thunder power because it's like showy and like lets them like do some damage and so on, but not like in an impactful way. And then they get defeated by somebody just like overpowering the lightning and punching them, and then they get knocked out. And then the actual hero of the story defeats the villain. Like that's like the trope that happens again and again and again and again.
Yeah, you've got like Static Shock, you got Storm, you've got Black Thunder, you've got there's a pretty good amount of them. But I mean, yeah, I obviously it's because they're not the main character, so you can kind of just like
2 different Netflix shows that are black dudes with lightning powers. Black Lightning, Black Vulcan, Static, Storm, Juice, Soul Power, Sparky, Volt, Bumblebee from Teen Titans, Spider-Man, Aqualad, Jakeem Thunder,
Aqualad,
Electro, Lightning.
Lightning lad.
That's lads. lads.
Why did they do? Why are they named like that? That's such a weird thing.
I like how I found a Gizmodo article. Why do so many black superheroes have electricity powers?
Shango the Thunderer, Thunderfall, Volt. Those are a lot. I didn't even know that Miles Morales had lightning powers until they made the Spider-Man expansion, because he didn't have them, I don't think, in the movie. And I don't really keep up with the comics. Superheroes comics are exhausting.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot.
Superhero movies are as well.
I like a nice, tight 300-page book that ends.
Spoilers for God of War 2018. That's your warning. Here it comes.
Wait, is this another God of War? Man, so far there's just been nothing but sequels on these PlayStation originals.
Oh, it's Boy of Dad.
We don't have a lot of new stuff to look forward to. It's pretty much...
Get it, guys? Do you get it? Do you get the reference? Do you get the fucking reference? It's from the first game. You get the reference? Do you get the reference from the first game?
Is it because Dad carried it in last time?
No, it's because the kid's Loki.
War is coming.
Spoilers.
Oh.
No, it's not.
They're gonna get Aloy. They're gonna catch her.
He does look like a Loki though.
Because he is. He literally is.
His face is a little bit.
My first reaction wasn't that it was Freya, but that they were chasing Aloy. Because I saw the silhouette. I'm like, oh my god, crossover.
You do not know what Mother wanted.
Well, I recognize that dour expression anywhere. Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
What if there was someone who could help us?
You mean Tyr, the old god of war in these lands, who is dead?
Well,
I remember having a lot of issues with the twist.
On seeing he wasn't found.
If he's out there,
Plot reasons or thematic?
What in all yarns be the happen?
Just kind of an element of who is this for?
we're trying to stop Ragnarok.
Not
I
me.
see.
Because I wanted to play God of War.
Do that as war.
Oh right, yeah. For context, Andrew's mad because he likes the old God of War games, which God of War plays nothing like now, which is fair.
But if anybody wants to critique, I 100%ed this new God of War, so don't fucking at me.
Yeah,
it's garbage.
I don't know why you would do that.
Because I wanted to prove that it was garbage. Like.
I liked playing the main story and then just like exploring the environments for the secrets, but holy shit, all of the bonus content campaign type stuff that they threw in, like here's a whole area of bonus content, which is like 3 of the areas. I hated all of them. I hated the roguelike place, I hated the Valkyries, I hated the fucking, it's all grindy bullshit that was like at the antithesis of why the game was good up to that point. I'm like, so I'm just gonna not do it. I don't know why.
Yeah, because the trailer looks good, but what they're not showing is the health bars. Every one of those devastating hits takes like one chip.
No, they're not showing the UI, which was a nightmare.
Yeah. They're like, check it out. The whole game's one continuous camera, but also you pause the game every 5 seconds to look at an inventory screen, so it's fucking, that's useless. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the story and character interactions because I like that stuff.
Well, some of them.
Ragnarok looks like looks pretty.
and I'll skip
This
whatever
isn't canonical.
Like the setting.
There are no such thing as orange mushrooms. Could we get that changed, please?
That was the best part.
What are you talking
I
about?
would
That was
like
the best part.
I would
Is
like
the-
this game to be
oh.
more realistic.
That's the
Is
whole
that
of the
it?
video.
Wait, that's it? That's the whole conference?
That's the whole conference.
Wait, I'm sorry. None
was
of the
their-
games that you said, none of the games that they listed as like, oh, these are our PlayStation exclusive, blah, 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 originals. None of those are coming out like soon.
The good news,
a lot of these are
Chia
coming out
is
a long time from now. Tears
Are
apparently
you
very
making
tall.
any video games, Sony? Have you made a single fucking video game since your
Wasn't
You
Tear
can't just
dead?
release a console.
I can give you good news. Chia is coming out on Steam as well.
What is?
Chia, the one,
Oh
the
yeah,
open
no,
world
game
a
you
game.
thought
lot of
was
these games
good?
are on PC.
Yeah.
Wasn't
So I don't think we saw a
single
wasn't Tyr
exclusive.
repeatedly reinforced as being dead in the first game?
I don't know.
I thought like the whole
Who?
castle thing that you're like moving around, it's like your hub kept reinforcing over and over again that like Tyr was dead or something.
I don't
I'm trying
know who
to-
you're talking about.
That guy, Tyr.
This guy?
Yeah. It's like I'm
don't know who that is.
I'm like, why is he here? Wasn't he supposed to be dead in the previous game? How's that
I guess
work?
Odin tricked us. He bamboozled us. He's still here.
There was
Look at him. He's right there.
My Let's Play it wasn't like in a weird space last when I played that game because I was reading Norse mythology and they're like, stop reading Norse mythology, you're gonna spoil it. and I would like stop to like when I would see something from the book that I was reading in the game, I would like talk about like the legend of that particular thing, and like I was like I just thought I was doing like I'm gonna like improve this playthrough by taking in the outside sources and explaining like the stories that they're adapting, and like that'll be interesting. But like I just got a lot of people complaining that I was like spoiling it or something, and it's like it's Norse mythology. Like when you like watch
history.
like Thor Ragnarok, isn't it interesting to be told like, oh yeah, what's up with the giant wolf and who the fuck is Hela and what is like all these characters that are just coming out of nowhere, like what's it supposed to be and so on. But yeah, I had complex feelings about the twist, which like I'll try to add like a spoiler warning before this trailer came up because Andrew immediately spoiled the end of the previous game.
It's just such a stupid like what a stupid fucking.
It's not a very good twist.
That's the end.
No.
That's what it's supposed to be
that's
like.
the
that's
whole
the grand
whole
conclusion.
fucking
Well, the villain of the
quest.
first God of War reboot game is Baldur, and Baldur is the character from Legend that. He couldn't be Freya asked literally asked all of the things in all of nature to like never harm her beautiful son because she loved him so much, and so they all promised never to harm her, to never harm her son. And then Loki, being a prick, was like, "Yo, everyone's throwing shit at this guy, and like he's like boasting about how invincible he is, and I can't have somebody else boasting about something." So he like asks Freya like. Surely you didn't did you ask everybody ever? I think he did it in disguise too, because that's what he usually does. You ask every single thing in all of nature not to harm your son. It's like, well, I didn't ask mistletoe because mistletoe, it's harmless. It wouldn't do anything. So Loki goes out like a little prick and he makes arrows out of mistletoe, and then or spears or something. And he hands them to the one blind god that was in the area. It's like, don't you want to join in the fun of everybody throwing stuff at Baldur to prove how invincible he is? So the guy throws the spear at Baldur and fucking kills him because mistletoe is his weakness. And so I think that guy gets executed for killing Baldur, and Loki gets hunted down, and it's all like the lead up to Ragnarok and stuff like that. So in the game, you're like, oh, it's Baldur and he's invulnerable. And they did some interesting stuff with his character where it's like he's like losing his mind a bit because he can't feel anything, and he sees this as a curse that his mother put on him, and there's like drama being mined there, and like just competent storytelling stuff.
Yeah.
But at one point Atreus has mistletoe arrows, and
Atreus is the kid
that can really give away the ending if you realize where they're going, which I didn't fully recognize. I saw the mistletoe, I'm like, oh, that would kill Baldur, and then Freya freaks out and burns them. I'm like, yep, that's suitable. That's what you would. That's a reasonable reaction to seeing mistletoe arrows. But the twist is that ultimately Loki, Atreus is Loki apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's a
shitty
twist.
It is
Like
a
it doesn't
tell
mean
any story.
anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's just
like
a
fan
reference.
service.
It's shitty.
Yeah, it's
and
a cameo.
It's one of those things where it's like Zero Escape and stuff where I'm like, okay, how does the average person engage with stories and what do they value in this stuff? Because like, because I kept hearing people make a big deal about the twist at the end. Like when I looked into it afterwards, like everyone seemed to like it. And I'm like, why though? Because like, it's not like, it doesn't actually follow up on the story of Loki and the mistletoe and Baldur correctly. Like Atreus does not do anything mischievous, and he doesn't knowingly like find out about the mistletoe and attack Baldur with it because he wanted to kill him for no reason because he's a dick or whatever. Like, and like none of his character traits or behaviors or history or anything about him resembles Loki. So at the end of the game, you're just like told, oh, he's Loki. He's because he's a frost giant. Haha. And that's it. Like they just did one of the most important Loki storylines without the Loki character knowing that he's Loki or behaving like Loki at any point. And so it's like, who's this reference for? Like if you know Norse mythology, then you already know who Loki is, and so there's not really much of a reveal to happen anymore. But if you don't know Norse mythology, you're like, oh, it's Loki, you know, the guy from Avengers, and it's like, that doesn't mean anything. Because the guy like Avengers is not the guy from Norse mythology, and also is not the guy who's Atreus. So like just hearing Loki for no reason, be like, oh my god, it's Loki. Like, do people just hear a name they heard before and clap? They're like, oh, it's Loki. Ha 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 ha, yay, storytelling. It's like, that's not a story. He didn't really tell a story.
Yeah.
The only level it works on is just to reveal that he's like secretly a frost giant or whatever the fuck, because that's that one specific Loki trait. But you just told one of the most iconic Loki stories already without Loki, basically, because he didn't know he was Loki and never did any of the Loki stuff, and just isn't that character. And they're not going to do the other stuff. They're not going to like, the fucking Pantheon's not going to hire like a builder giant to build their wall and be like, but he's gonna be too expensive. Loki, fix this. And then Loki like, I'm gonna turn into a sexy female horse and lure your horse away, and then we're gonna fuck, and then I'm gonna birth an 8-legged horse. Like, they're not gonna do that with Atreus. So like none of the actual, like, they're already out of Loki stuff. Like the most prominent Loki thing is the one they skipped already without him being in the story as Loki. And then everything else about Loki is so fucking weird and creepy and strange, and especially when you're introducing him as a child, that they're not going to do any of those storylines, because Loki's a fucking lunatic. He is a lot. Like, he is a gender bending shapeshifter that has sex with everything, and also like he births hell and the world serpent. But Hell and the World Serpent are both in God of War, and Atreus sure as fuck didn't do it.
I mean, unless it's just a long.
So he's not Loki. He's just called Loki.
Loki was they
actually just called him Loki at the end. It's like, who cares?
Are you sure it's not like he's a mistaken identity and it's just like, no, I'm Atreus. Excuse me, you got me mistaken.
I mean, he is Atreus. That's who he was raised as or whatever. But like, it's just so confusing.
Yeah, it does sound like,
But that explains why I was making a fuss in the beginning, because they did the stupid thing where they had Loki's helmet, which is the antlers, and so they had him carrying the stupid fucking deer.
About?
Look at the fucking beginning of this thing.
Did he hold the deer like antlers behind his head?
It kind of.
Yes, he literally. That's why I did the whole fucking like get it, guys.
I didn't understand what you were yelling about. I was like, did Daddy carry the deer at the beginning of the last game?
No.
And now it's like, wow, he's come of age.
He seems very preoccupied, though.
It's fucking stupid.
Oh yeah. There is horns over his head.
Yeah, it kind of looks.
Ba-doop.
Like, come on.
Yeah, for a long time, I thought it was a helmet, actually, now that you mention it.
If he doesn't start shape-shifting in this game, then you're just wasting your time ever calling him Loki. Even if they're not going to do the really weird shit, because mainstream audiences aren't ready for that in their video games. I definitely saw this, I'm like, oh my god, it's Aloy.
Finding out who I am, who Loki is.
Now he's getting older. Now he's in his
he said it. He said it
years.
himself.
Yep.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
And if those answers.
There's a whole lot of hope you played the last game already, because we're just going to come hard and strong with the spoilers.
We do not know what Mother wanted.
I mean, yeah,
with his mouth.
I get the impression that companies just take the attitude that if you didn't play the last game, then you're not going to play it anymore. We're just here to sell you the new game, and it's the new game that you're going to buy.
Stuff does have a short lifespan, especially if you're the people that try to profit off of it. Like for them, like that game's dead to them now. It's all about just leveraging the next game. And yeah, like a surprising number of people are willing to just start with the most recent game in a series. Like I'm just going to start with Mass Effect 3, the game that's about finishing the story.
Yeah,
who needs context?
Especially didn't Mass Effect 3 come out in the same console?
Finishes the story.
Oh god, no! Andromeda tried to start a new story, and that was the hubris.
Didn't Mass Effect 3 come out on the same console that Mass Effect 1 came out?
Yes.
Then why do people start with the 3? It's more expensive.
People just hear there's what happened. I mean, it's advertising working as intended. You hype up the new game like crazy and advertise it everywhere, and then everybody just hears the hype cycle, which grows with every sequel in a franchise because the game gets more and more the games get more and more attention, and then a bunch of people will just start with that one because it has so much hype around it, and so they'll just start with Mass Effect 3, and even though it's a continuous storyline, and they'll just go with that.
But then again, people it's
like when you said people start with Uncharted 4.
Yeah, but that's true. Yeah. But then again, so few people actually engage with the media. They consume that at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. They start with Mass Effect 3, so what? They're probably on their phone all the time.
It's relatively common for people. Like I have a Patreon where that chooses what games I play on one of my time slots, and like it's not uncommon for them to just pick a game that's been out. Sorry, I started that sentence wrong, so it doesn't make sense. They'll pick like the game in the middle or the end of a franchise and nominate that specifically. Like it's relatively common, and it's like, don't you want me to start with the first game?
Yeah,
I would think you want me to start with the first game, but okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, wow.
So that was the PlayStation conference. It reminded me that Deathloop exists, which I knew because it's on my calendar. It's coming out next week.
It's a new game.
And I guess, I basically just saw that one Japanese game. Was it Japanese?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. And so that
one something Tokyo.
There was that one mind wires. Or something.
It was something about Ghostwire. That's true.
Ghostwire. There we go. It's a sequel to Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective, and Clock Tower. Both franchises at the same time. I don't actually know what Ghost Trick is. I don't remember.